Hello and welcome back, my friends, to Geometry Colors. Thank you for joining me today. Before we begin, I want to ask you something. Have you ever loved something creative and yet somehow it started to feel a little heavy? I've been feeling that for quite a while. In fact, it's been years since I last sat down to make a video like this. Not because that I didn't want to really, but because my energy wasn't there. And when my energy feels low, even the things that I love the most can start to feel a little too much. Maybe you have felt it too. For the longest time, I was drawn to intricate coloring pages, the kind that sparks ideas and pull you in completely, like think Kirby Rosanes, Hannah Calzon, and such books. Uh, the kind where every detail matter, where you can spend hours making everything feels just right, and they are beautiful and deeply inspiring and give you a sense of achievement. But over time, I noticed something shift. On those quiet days when my mind was already full, those plain pages from those dear books began to feel a little overwhelming, like they were asking more from me than I had to give. So I started reaching to something different, something softer, simpler coloring books, if you want to call them. And I honestly didn't expect this, but they have quietly transformed the way I spend my creative time, where I spend time just dedicated to my hobby. And they even helped me find my way back to the more demanding or complex pages. There's something calming about a page that doesn't ask you to figure out everything or anything. No pressure to make it perfect, no need to overthink. You just begin. Choosing a color and letting my hand move over the page and just breathe. Um, I feel like this kind of uh, sort of a creative exhale, if you want. And within that simplicity, I have found space again, not just to create, but to enjoy creating and coloring and to explore colors, to play with the light and shadow and play with new coloring supplies and practice and just be free and light. And today I want to share with you a few of my favorite simple coloring books with you that I have explored. They are just a sample and how I use them on those low energy, demanding days. And if you stay with me until the end, I'll share a small way you can turn these pages, simple pages, into something special. So let's slow down together and let's begin. So, some of these books is basically coloring bookmarks. And here I have two probably by now very old bookmark sets that I picked long ago from Matchit Heroes. The first one I think is the Chestnuts, and the second one is I don't remember the translation of it, but basically it have multiple characters or main characters from different movies and from Disney and Pixar. And this is where I basically color without having to worry about anything, because I just basically a method of straight coloring, especially when you don't feel like coloring patterns or mandalas or anything like that. You just color straight coloring whatever you have. And this is one of the pages that I've done during my absence. So it's this one. And yeah, so these are basically pages that I feel like so simple yet keep me to satisfy my desire to color, and at the same time I avoid having this let's say extra mental demand on me that requires me to focus on color palettes or whatever kind of things that basically add to my pressure and makes me avoiding color. Another one is this one that I also you know, used for coloring. It's more patterny, but still, you just put color on paper if that's the goal you're aiming for, and that is the desire that you need to find your quiet and peace again. So these are the first two options that I go to for that goal. Another thing that I would like to share also is these kind of mini style books. Like, they are relatively very small book. Like, this is my two hands together on the book, and it's basically, again, straight coloring, nothing, no thinking, nothing to worry about. Like, even this page, excuse me, where I just felt like I want to play with glitter. Why can't I just simply put glitter everywhere? And I did that, and I did exactly that. I just covered the whole background with glitter paint that I actually created myself, if I remember correctly. Like, I created this glitter paint. Let me know if you're interested in a video like that. I'm happy to show you what I did. And yeah, so that's basically it. And this is a page where I felt like coloring more of the details, and, you know, and that's what I exactly did. So these are basically the books that I go to, one of the books I go to when I feel like coloring, but not in the energy level that allows me to go to all the details and all the basically techniques, the coloring techniques that can be sometimes mentally demanding for me. Another book style that I haven't seen often, and honestly I think I have not seen at all, at least based on the YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to that have this kind of book. This is basically mystery, I think, coloring book, where when you color with pencil you should get this. So basically there's sort of a wax or something on the page, and the page is very glossy, and when you color with it you have this pattern appearing. So it's a straight coloring, but your straight coloring turns into something more without the effort that you have to put into it. It again fits within this category of when you feel the desire to color, but you don't have the energy or the time or the capacity to put that energy into coloring. And this where this book comes in handy for me. I don't color with pencils in this book. I tried, I didn't like it. So what I do, and this book, the only disadvantage is the paper is glue bound, and it's unfortunately wants to leave the book as fast as possible and wants to run away, but on my best ability trying to keep it. So what I do is I simply use fill tip markers, basically water-based markers, and I color using those. Like you can see here, the page, the paper is very glossy, it's shiny, like you see the light. And yeah, I just straight color it, and you see the result come out beautifully. Like, I think I can go over this red and make it gray, and this one I can go over it and make it black if I want more details, but I was just satisfied. Like, I colored this background leaf with this color basically, and the pigment got from the wax or something. I don't know what do they put exactly on it. Maybe they explained it, but I don't read German, so it was not possible for me to understand what exactly they have on the paper. But basically it helps this way of giving an effect without the effort or without the colorist has to put the effort into it. And this is one of the ways that I like coloring, and at the same time get a fine result. Like here I colored the tree in green, and then I went over it with some yellow so I can give this kind of lemons a different color, and it went perfectly fine. And yeah, and the effect is actually interesting. Like, it's not like anything you normally see. Yeah, so, and this is another, so this is the page number 1, and this is the page that I started. And again, it is, as you can see here, just straight coloring here with this kind of bluish green, and here with the yellowish green, and then some true green, and the pattern just started appearing. And if you see here in this empty page, I don't know how well it shows, but there is this door that I see that once I start coloring in this area in brown or whatever, it will appear. And there is here a birdhouse, I see it, and the door is open and there's a garden inside. Like, you can see the pattern if you move the page in the right light and see the good way to reflect the pattern. And yeah, and then you have this pages, and yeah, and here the same page, there is, you can see it here. I think there is some sort of discoloring that you can see. The whiter parts are the pattern that will appear when you put colors on, and the yellow part is basically the page is straight. Like here the trees has very faint white that shows some fruit and some leaves and so forth. So this is one of the books that I go to when I feel like coloring, feel like no energy to color or no time or no whatever reason. One of the books that I like so much, and unfortunately there's only a handful so far that have been published from this book. I don't know why is that. I think it's a very good idea, but I think it didn't get the publicity that it should have gotten. Another book is essentially color by number, but it's not the majestic, I would say, Hatched Heroes color by number, but it's a more simple, more straightforward coloring where I don't feel the need to make my coloring perfect, and I don't worry about mistakes, I don't worry about anything. It's just basically putting color on paper kind of attitude or approach. And this is where basically you just get the list of colors, you put on your colors. And here I didn't 100% follow the colors that they aligned. I just followed my own, and yeah, that's the page I created. Here I followed a different color. Actually, I bought some acrylic paints and I wanted to test them, and this was the easiest way for me to test them without having to worry about the final result, because this is just my relaxed book. So this is also was oil pastels that I wanted to test, and yeah, and that's basically where I just simply color by number, and the colors are the same in every page. Like, they don't really change from 1 to 12, like yellow, orange, red, fuchsia, lilac, and so forth. They don't really change, so once you find your 12 colors, you can repeat them for the entire book if you want. So this is one of the books that I find easy to color during, let's say, high demanding times. Another couple of books that I have, and I don't have only those two, I have actually so many more, but I'm just giving these two as an example, and that also applies to the previous books. Books that these are basically coloring books that I use to decompress, de-stress, just to find a quick and easy way of coloring. It's basically my cute and cozy, if I put it in this way, it's my cute and cozy coloring without the cute and cozy books, because even with the cute and cozy books, I've picked like 3, I think, since the whole since they became so big in the community, and I picked 3, and I still felt this pressure that the pages must turn out perfectly because of all the techniques and the very beautiful way I've seen them colored, that it makes me feel like I cannot possibly just straight color them. I would like to color them in a nice way, and I have the ideas and I have the desire. It's just either I don't have the energy or the time, and this is where I feel like, okay, I'll put it away for the moment and I'll just color, because I have the desire to color still, but not the energy or the time. So what I do is I approach to these little books that are basically on the couch kind of book while watching TV or while just simply sitting on the bed kind of books. And this is where I also color straight coloring, or try new techniques, or try new I don't know, medias. Like here I was trying new watercolors that I picked, and I wanted to see how they will go well, and I colored watercolors with pencils, and I wanted to finish some gel paints, so I put them on her dress and things like that. That basically a coloring book that I don't have to worry about. And even some of the paint that was left over from the skin, I put here on the feet on the other page. So this is basically the book that I color when I feel like coloring, but I don't feel like thinking about what and how, and there is no pressure, basically. The low pressure coloring books, I would say. And this also goes within that same category. That basically, you know, like just coloring quickly, quick and easy, simple coloring page. The next set of books that I also go to for easy, quick coloring when I feel like coloring, but I don't have the time, energy, or the ability to put in the effort, is these books that are basically by Buster books, and they are really smaller even than the previous books I've shown you. Like, as you can see, they are relatively very small, and these themselves are smaller than these. Like, basically, you see the size is almost shrinking as we move forward. So that's basically what we're looking at. And these books, I have more of them, and this is just a sample, like I've mentioned. I also use just straight coloring by the bed kind of approach with them, trying new materials, not worrying about the final results or anything like that. It's just this kind of very simple, very fun, and very easy coloring books, honestly, at least in my humble opinion. Yeah, and a way to keep coloring without actually having to worry about the final results. So that is one. And there is this cat's coloring, but I still plan to do a page here for a group coloring for cats on Instagram. This is one, and this is the last one that I also hopefully planning to use for April. Coloring page for April from this book. Now, more of the traditional, not traditional, but basically not to be expected in the easy coloring is actually Rita Berman and Erie. And for these books is basically I try to color as simply as possible. Like I am not all the pages, of course. Like you can see here, this page, it was basically essentially two colors, just a background with a lot of glitter gold that was part of the painting actually, and purple and green, and that's it. This one was more of an effort and it was more detailed, but here also and here, like this is where I feel like I don't want too many colors. I want a handful of pencils or paints or something small on the go, or I can just enjoy sitting somewhere and just quietly color for hours without having to be disturbed. Yeah, so this is also a book that I use for that purpose. And as you can see, most of the pages are coloring that style where I just take a couple of colors and just go and color in a corner somewhere. Finally, I know these kind of books, the Erie size, are usually, for me at least, are books that I feel like I need to put the effort and be in my best to color in them. But sometimes I like to push myself and color in them, but without exhausting my energy as well. And this is where I reach for those very mini kind of mini pages that are lumped together on one page. At least that's how I see them, because technically these are, like, I think intended to be bookmarks or something. And yeah, I color it back and front, and and it's a page for me. It's a page done. And same like this one. So I color without exhausting, let's say, my health or my time, and at the same time enjoy the process. So also my point here is that if you like the idea of coloring in smaller books that are not necessarily cute and cozy coloring books, but at the same time you don't want to go out and buy new books, because I wouldn't advise that, but I would also suggest like looking at these kind of books and find smaller, let's say, effortless kind of elements or items, or including even those extra bonus pages that they sometimes, most of the time, are included in some of those of these books, and just enjoy yourself as having an effortless, stress-free kind of coloring. And that's basically it. That's my goal of this video, is just to share with you what I have been doing when I am not feeling well to color, which has been going on for several years, and I'm finally starting to find my way back, and that is thanks to some of these simple, easy to color books that I have in my collection. And yeah, let me know if you want a specific book review or a specific type of books, because like I've mentioned, some of them are just a sample from what I have in my collection, just to demonstrate the idea, not necessarily to show my collection. But let me know what you think, and if this is something you would do, and if you have a better way to find your way back to coloring without worrying about the final results, worrying about the techniques, especially when you, let's say, putting it honestly, that I have a plan for specific pages, but I don't have the time or the energy to put that into the page at this moment, but maybe later on I will. And that's basically what I'm saying. And definitely my goal here is not to say that every page has to meet specific artistic editorial standards to qualify as a good coloring page. It's just more like, sometimes I have plans for pages that may be more complex than my energy level or my ability to put towards them, and that's basically it. And this is where the little energy I have and the high desire to color I direct towards more of these easy, simple, straightforward, straight coloring books. Yeah, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinion on the topic. Thank you for being here with me and spending more time with me. I hope that I will be able to hopefully edit the videos that I filmed a while ago and come back to you with more content and spend more time with you in the future. And until then, thank you so much, and enjoy coloring regardless of where and what. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, or evening, or afternoon. Bye.